sharp light bolt pierces the cloud. Rain falls down with power of rage. Lightning strikes as I take the stage. Son of Odin, God of war, mighty hammer in the name of Thor. Son of Odin, God of war, mighty hammer in the name of Thor.
Hey, a toasty warm welcome everybody back to our channels, you lovely moon stompers out there. I'm Mrs. Moon Stomper.
And I'm Mr. Moonstomper. As I'm being attacked by a small spider, I do beg your pardon, guys, that was a bit itchy.
Attack.
Yeah, a warm welcome back to the channel, like Mrs. Moonstomper says. In fact, a toasty warm welcome back to the channel. Because after all, it's autumn here in the United Kingdom and things are getting a little bit cold.
Oh, yes.
But in the studio, things are actually hotting up, are they not, Mrs. Moonstomper?
Yeah.
As we bring you more and more specials than you could ever handle. We've got loads and loads of these coming up. So guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time looking at Moonstomper Originals, a warm welcome to you. If you're one of the OG subs, then guys, absolute peace and love to you, as ever. And today's episode, Mrs. Moonstomper, is all about
Skinhead ink,
Skinhead ink, and why not? So, tattooing. Right now, that's a really subjective thing to me, and it's really subjective to a lot of people because one thing can mean one thing in one culture and country, and different in another culture and country. So it's a bit subjective, this, and this took actually quite a bit of research. So let's dive in. You can tell the viewers about a potted history of tattooing, where it actually comes from, and we'll go from there. How's about that?
How's about it?
There you go.
Yes, the first recorded tattoo was found on an Iceman called Otzi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. O-T-Z-Ed with the two O's and two dots on top of the O. The Otzi or Otzi.
I don't know, that sounds German to me.
Oh, right.
How did I actually know his name?
I know.
No, I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
With the tattoos in back to me, tattooed on his hand.
That was from the fourth
millennium BC.
Wow. That is quite old.
Yes, way back.
They sort of dug him up, did they not? And that was preserved in the ice.
In the ice, yes.
All to see. There you go,
guys.
That's
it, yes.
And probably even older than that. So probably some sort of tribal marking or something, but nobody actually knows what it was or what it was supposed to be. But there you go.
I think it was discovered in 1991, if my memory serves me well.
Wow.
Yes,
so the all-time hide and seek champion of Europe actually found. There you go, guys.
Yes.
As you do.
Gosh.
Okay, so who else had tattoos? A lot from ancient times.
Oh, the ancient mummies found in some pyramid, in a pyramid.
Wow.
Yes. The Great Pyramids over 4,000 years ago.
Wow. And those are made.
Long old time.
Those tattoos were actually made with needles, clay discs, and ochre. Was it?
Ochre.
Sorry.
O-C-H-R-E. It's like a dye, yellow dye. I'm not sure what it's made from. I think it's made from plants or something. I think it used to use plants for colour.
In fact, we'll put it on the screen. It'll be some sort of dye extract. How amazing is that?
I know, yes.
And there's me thinking my ink was old, like 40 odd years old, but there you go. And then some. Okay, so So moving fast forward, because I mean, tattoos, literally now Maoris, they were heavily tattooed.
Tribal markings.
Yeah, and South Pacific, so those Pacific Islands.
Oh yes.
Especially. And in India as well.
All right.
And Japan and all those southern hemisphere countries. Actually. And then you just proved it, northern hemisphere.
Yes.
So those things have been around forever and ever and ever.
Gosh, going back to the Maoris, the tattoo, that put the markings on the face, cover the whole face. Sometimes the body as well.
They would do in Indonesia, but those tattoos, right? So the original tattoos, where we said needles and clay discs.
Yes.
looking at them, you know, especially in places like Indonesia,
Yes.
they still use traditional tattooing methods,
Goodness me.
and that's literally a needle that's in a bit of, it's normally in a bit of bamboo or a bit of wood, and they knock it in.
That's it.
They
Bang,
literally
bang, bang, bang,
knock
bang,
it.
bang,
They
bang.
knock it in.
I'm sitting there going, oh,
Which
is it over? When is it over?
But those are like the tattoos I had when I was a very, very young person. Literally Indian ink and a needle.
Or a safety pin or something.
Yeah, and just like that. It's just like, oh my god, oh
yeah.
my god, yeah. But there you go.
It's like torture, isn't it?
It is, but it always looks brilliant when it's done, or you think it
Yes.
looks brilliant when it's done. But anyway, enough of that. So, how did tattoos come to the Western world?
There was a gentleman by the name of Norman Collins, aka Sailor Jerry.
Actually, before then, way before then. So
right.
sailors
Sailors.
brought those back because you know the sort of the ones who went on sort of crusades and discovery missions.
Yes.
They looked at those and actually brought those back. But those sailors had tattoos that had meaning behind them. Now, every day, nowadays, everyone's tattoos have got meanings.
Oh yes.
In my day, they didn't really have meanings. You just had tattoos. You know, a few had meanings, but the rest of them were just tattoos because it was just it was a. In fact,
It was a thing, wasn't it? Like a trend.
Well, I think it was a stupid thing to do looking back, but you know,
when you're a kid, you just get all, you follow your friends.
Yeah.
You tattoo your skin and you pierce your ear with a pin and a potato and an ice cube or something.
I just put an earring straight through mine.
I've done that when I was a kid.
Yeah, just went bang bang, like straight through, popped it straight through.
My teacher, she shouted at me. She saw me do it. She says, "You stupid this and that."
Yeah.
She says, "Get an ice cube on that or take it out." I had to take it out.
Get an ice line in it instead. It tastes better. Right, so yeah.
Oh dear.
So sailors, and we'll come back to that because that's quite sort of poignant. So you mentioned Sailor Jerry.
Yes.
Now,
Norman Collins.
United States of America,
Okay.
probably one of the most famous tattooists ever.
Yeah.
In fact, the OG tattooist. If you've had a tattoo by Sailor Jerry, that's pretty good. But didn't have a thing with, was it Ed Hardy was another tattooist as well?
Yes, it was.
And
yes.
those designs, in fact, what we'll do is we'll put some designs up, and those are traditional tattoos.
Yes, from the late 1930s.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that got me was women had tattoos as well.
Oh yes.
I've got a book that shows women that were covered in full bodysuits,
Oh yes.
and it's just sort of wow. From the 1920s and before then as well.
It's
So
amazing to think back that way back that was doing them then, especially women.
it is definitely.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it was always different. Because we kind of digress in it, but we're setting the scene, if that makes sense. So Japan, you can't be tattooed by a tattoo master unless you're a tattooist yourself.
Okay.
And then they have bodysuits,
They do,
but the
don't they?
bodysuits don't include so all down there, the sternum.
Yes.
The sternum is left completely clean,
That's it.
and the sleeves only come to there.
It's for a reason, isn't it?
It's for a reason. Literally, you can take that skin off when you die, and not that you would do. The works.
But in their culture.
Yeah, and the inks are really vibrant.
Okay, yes.
Really, really vibrant. Like oranges and reds, and you know,
And blues as
and
well.
really, really long lasting as well.
Yes.
So there you go.
Ah,
So moving on
yes.
to skinhead tattoos.
Okay.
Now, right, the culture of those, or in
Yes.
fact the culture of tattoos in the modern Western world.
Yes.
Now, when I was a young person, if you had a tattoo, it was one of several things. You were either in the forces,
Yes.
particularly the Royal Navy,
Yeah.
or maybe the Merchant Navy, or you've been in prison, or you were an out and out thug, such as a skinhead. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So right, I wasn't in the Navy, the Merchant Navy.
No.
I wasn't in prison, so that leaves one thing for me, and I wasn't a thug. Incidentally.
You don't look like it.
No, I didn't think so either. You know,
You don't behave like one either.
not anymore, I don't. Not anymore. But
Indeed.
traditional skinhead tattoos, now they've got different meanings, right?
Right.
But to get that, looking at a conglomeration of, I would say, sailors' tattoos, which are your typical sort of those big galleons,
Yeah, anchors.
spiders' webs,
Yes. Nautical star.
yeah, swallows, eagles,
Yes.
that type of thing.
Pin-up girls, maybe.
Pin-up girls, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, a lot of those have meanings, such as the spider's web. Now, everybody's got an opinion about a web
Yes.
around an elbow or around a knee. And the original nautical meaning of that was you've been on that ship forever and ever and ever.
Oh yes.
And it's almost as though you're a prisoner on that ship. You've
Okay.
been on there that long that it's enough to make cobwebs grow on you. And that's what that means.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh.
And those were almost transferable to prison. So in the late 1800s,
Yeah.
in the United Kingdom, after the Napoleonic Wars, a lot of seamen, Navy people, became displaced,
Okay.
and the Vagrancy Act was brought in, where literally what they do is then put those people in prison. Places like Dartmoor prison, and you know there were people missing limbs, there were people missing all sorts of things, but in order to sort of quell and sort of like squash the epidemic, they would bung those sailors in prison. Those sailors then took the practice of tattooing into prisons.
Oh, I see.
So
It's like a hobby, something for them to do.
It's
boredom.
to pass time.
Yes.
So those were put in with pins or
Right.
sharpened objects, and it was very often sort of like low grade ink, such as Indian ink or even writer's ink.
Okay.
That when it got into your skin, literally it turns the black turns blue because
That's
it's
it,
on the.
It's like a midnight blue.
Yeah, it's under your dermis.
Yeah.
Literally, and I've got tattoos, like all the black on mine's now. Some of it's turned blue.
Fading. You
because
still
it's-
see the reds and greens.
Yeah, because it's that old. It's that old. It's got some of that's over 40, I'd say 40 years old. And then some. But that's where the tattooing culture in prisons, that's how it got to prisons
Okay.
in the United Kingdom. And I would say the same maybe with the United States of America as well.
Yes.
That's kind of how it got into the system.
Yes.
So, skinheads, why do skinheads have tattoos?
Why indeed?
Looks mean. Or it did look mean.
Sort of intimidating to those looking at them.
It did. I had friends with, they'd have like a swastika there, or,
yes.
or there. And
Did you get teardrop or something?
teardrop, now the teardrop, that used to represent what we called, they used to call it like a Borstal dot.
It was like a blank, not a filled in one, just the one. You used to end up with three. The first one was like a blank one, was it?
Yeah, and those
Oh,
are,
nice.
those, so if you don't know what Borstal is, Borstal was a young man's sort of,
Correction.
it was a correctional
Correction
facility,
centre,
yeah,
that's it.
correctional facility that naughty boys went to, and literally it was run by ex-military sort of drill sergeants.
Sergeant majors.
And it was the most frightening experience of your life. It was
Gosh.
like literally you were shouted at, screamed at, made to polish your shoes, march, cut your hair, clean your fingernails,
That's it.
and do chores. And if you didn't do it, you got beasted for it.
Jeez. You was told when to get up, when to go to bed, when to eat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the rest
when
of
to
it.
toilet as well.
And those were these called Borstal dots.
Oh,
The same
right.
with the dots across the knuckles, Borstal dots. But those represent something else, and we'll get into that shortly, of why skinheads had
Yeah,
those things.
yeah.
So, the skinhead culture,
Yes.
in my opinion, and in the opinion of most skinheads, so any skin watching this, will tell you and tell everybody else, to the blue in the face, it's the most persecuted subculture ever.
Okay.
And I would agree with that. I really would. I'd completely agree with that for many, many reasons.
Okay.
You know, and the thing is with anything like that, it only takes 2 or 3 people to upset it.
Alright.
So we already in the not so much the 60s, but then the 70s and the 80s.
Yes.
We already looked like a ragtag rough bunch anyway, and we got to the stages of being racist, granny scarers, you muggers, you know, you name it.
The whole shebang.
Literally, it was pinned onto them, and it was anybody who was described as violence or a thug was a skinhead. And that's
it's got rubbed into whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, exactly. And you could hear it in jokes. A group of skinheads walked into the bar, and you just think, "Oh my God, here we go again." It's just, you could have picked somebody else, but and punks never copped the same deal. But punks, then again, were normally, I'm not going to say they were all middle class, but it was a very middle class thing to be a punk in the UK. But yeah, so the traditional skinhead tattoos, right? The traditional ones, the ones that loads of skins had. So the ones such as Skins.
Yes.
Just written.
It's written like in a sort of.
It was written in SS.
That's it.
So the SS fonts.
Yes.
So you had that, like the SS, which is like the lightning strikes.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to
and that was normally on your neck, or with a spider's web, or a swallow, or
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, I never had my neck. Well, I've got a tattoo at the back there.
It's like kanji. Kanji.
It is, and it actually says evil for some reason, and it does actually say evil. It doesn't say toilet roll, like other people's kanji, but the neck, face, and then the other sort of homemade tattoos, and a lot of those were homemade with Indian ink.
Yeah.
Sometimes a matchstick and a pin, matchstick to sort of draw the ink on. Yeah, exactly. And there were all sorts of things. So swallows.
Swift swallows as well.
Yeah, exactly. So swift swallows, spiders' webs, eagle, then cross. Then there was a little thing. Somebody put in one of our comments the other day. I think it was in Oi. The Saints.
Oh yeah.
So the little
the matchstick man with the halo.
I had one of those on my arm. The Saints. I was oh my God.
Simon Templar.
And then like across the wrist, you had like cut here and
Oh gosh. Like serrated, like.
Yeah, dots, cut here, like little dotted lines, and other things as well.
Was there English rose as well included? Tudor rose, English or Tudor rose?
Well, yes and no.
Oh, right.
Yes and no, but that's included in designs.
Oh right.
Then you had your typical sort of. We'll come to crucified skin in a moment because that's quite good. And swastikas as well.
Oh yeah.
And at the point of people having a swastika tattooed into them in the 70s especially.
Yeah.
Was that the wrong thing to do? On hindsight, yes.
It's up to them, it's their body.
Well, yeah, and Malcolm McLaren repopularised the swastika, did he not?
Yes, you mentioned that.
We did in the punk. I think it was actually in the punk video. We did. He popularised that, and loads of people. I had a swastika armband. I didn't see any wrong in having that done. It doesn't mean I want to go and persecute and kill 6 million people. Wipe out that thing. It wasn't about that for me.
As soon as people see somebody with a swastika, they go, he's got a swastika, therefore he's going to be a wrong and a racist.
Yeah, it's the connotations behind that.
Yes,
so it's what it symbolises. But the swastika is actually.
Hindu.
It's a Hindu symbol.
Yeah,
and
Hindu.
it was turned the other way around.
You see some people with theirs one way and it's supposed to go another way.
It was more curved. We actually will put a picture on the screen.
And
I think it's actually good. I think it's a good luck symbol.
Oh right.
Or something. It's a good luck or peace symbol or something like that. Okay. But the Nazi Party just got it and they flipped it around.
See, we always say, end up saying this. Somebody takes something what it wasn't meant to be, and take it and make it into something completely different.
They flipped it.
I always find myself saying
they
this.
flipped it around, and you can see what they did. You know, so that was kind of, I'm not saying it's clever, but it was kind of, you know, who would have thought? Who would have thought that symbol could rain such terror and hell on the Western world, which it did do.
Gosh.
From a symbol of peace, and I think it was a symbol of peace.
I think it was.
We'll put it on the screen. We'll put it out. Actually, what it means, the Hindi, the Hindu symbol of that swastika.
Was it actually called a swastika? The Hindu one.
I think it's just a swastika. It's just that's what it is. It's,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
the swastikas come in many guises. It's not just a typical sort of Nazi swastika.
No.
And there's I don't even know where that word comes from. Does it come from Sanskrit?
Oh.
We're digressing completely.
Alright. We'll find out anyway. We'll have
yeah.
to find out. Yes.
But the swastika, so you know that became a thing, a real big thing in what I would say was Aryan.
Oh, the Aryan Brotherhood.
The Aryan Brotherhood, especially American prisons, where those things were literally their tattoo gun, their tattoo machine. They actually made tattoo machines, and they made it with a crest spin toothbrush, or a motor off something, a 12-volt motor or 6-volt motor.
Move back and
a
forth.
guitar string.
Yes,
A guitar string, so you literally push it in and out, at a rate of knots to replicate what would be you either had in tattooing, you either get coil machines or rotary machines.
Okay.
The rotary, obviously, that spins it round and vibrates, and that's quite a machine, and you have to know what you're doing with that. The coil machine is pretty much what everybody uses.
Is that one that goes back and forth?
Well, they both do.
Oh, right.
They both do, but the rotary goes back and forth and round.
Oh, yes.
So it literally could rip your skin to pieces if you don't know how to use it. But the rotary is a bit smoother, but you have to know what you're doing with the rotary to get like good lines. Yeah, exactly. And you know, different skin types as well. Black people are harder to tattoo than white people.
Yes.
Because they scar easier.
Gosh.
Scars on black people tend to raise.
Yeah, this is one of my that was my birth sign.
Yeah.
When I had done that, I used to, especially in the cold weather, I used to could feel it.
That raises.
Yes,
it
felt
rises,
really embossed.
Yeah.
The one on this arm as well.
Yeah, it rises, doesn't it?
Yes.
Rises becomes itchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
But those are, perhaps those are. When you put them in, if you go over and over it, you create a scar.
That's it.
Like a deep
really
scar.
sore.
Yeah, exactly. But you need to put it in deep enough for it to last, otherwise it will just wear off.
All
yeah.
right. The one on my back, that never caused me any problems.
I should think not. I should think not.
The one on my neck and the one on my back. Oh, we should have taken a picture to show it off.
Perhaps you can do.
All
But
right.
anyway, so going back to the most iconic skinhead tattoo that I can think of. Now you've got bulldogs.
Oh yeah, the British bulldog.
The British bulldog,
Yeah.
and it's just that's just a thing, isn't it? Yeah. The crucified skinhead, and that's always done on the chest, nearly always done on the chest.
Yeah.
Now there are two different versions of that. So
Okay.
the original one is it's a crucifix with a crucified skinhead on the.
I was like Jesus on the cross.
Pretty much so.
Oh yes, I've seen
And
those.
that was done because skinheads felt they were persecuted.
Oh right.
So it's a persecuted subculture, and that is the reason why that's done. Later on, so if you saw our skinheads the wrong breed, but the alleged neo ones, the neo-Nazi ones, if that's even a thing, they had crucified skinhead on. They would use a northern European Viking symbol, such as a tear rune, which is like an arrow almost.
Oh.
that shows it's an Aryan symbol.
It's like the bent arrow.
It's the arrow. We'll put a picture on the screen and we'll show you the difference. Because there are many guys that with the tears normally, it's only an arrow pointing upwards, isn't it?
Oh, right.
So it peaks like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's allegedly that's a white European, Northern European Aryan symbol.
Yes.
So a lot of people would use those, and what you call a Valknut as well.
Oh.
So a Valknut is a triple triangle.
Oh.
Well, you must know what a Valknut looks like. You must do a triple triangle.
Is it like 1, 2 and then one at the bottom?
You can do, so it's an interlocking, it's 3 interlocking triangles.
Oh, I've seen, oh yes,
So when I had my security consultancy, what was my symbol?
Oh, the 3 triangles.
3 triangles, but I had them concentric, didn't I? One within the other.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
And
for your other business channel thing.
No, it was actually my consultancy. So it was Valhalla Total.
Oh, Valhalla.
Valhalla Total Security.
I remember. Yes.
And I got a bit of flack for that.
Okay.
But I just happened to like Viking things. That's all it was. It doesn't mean
you didn't want to quite interlock the triangles. I remember now.
I was going to do that, but it was just a bugger to do on the software and get it what you call vectored. So the easiest vectoring was to just do the 3 triangles with each other, and, and it was just easy. It looked like a better symbol.
Yes.
And I was quite proud of that. But there you go. So.
What I was thinking of the 3 triangle, like the hazardous sign. I was thinking, no, it's the hazardous, not the one you mentioned earlier. But when you said 3 triangles before, and then you said 3 interlocking.
Oh, you mean biohazard?
Biohazard.
There you go.
Oh dear, you know, I was laughing at earlier. I was laughing when you said about the British Bulldog. I was thinking some of the tattoos on people. The bulldog looks like, Churchill, the bulldog. Oh yes.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like Churchill melted.
It looks pretty grim, doesn't it? And
some of them look alright, but some of them don't. So
but that's the disadvantage of having tattoos. So if a tattoo you had done 40 years ago doesn't look the same 40 years on, does it?
No, because your skin's taut when you're young, and it starts to.
Yeah, and the ink starts to break down as well. So mine are, the ones on the backs of my hands are probably, those early 90s, something like that.
Your skin still looks taut.
Early 90s, and then some of those on my arms are like literally there, 1980s,
It's only because they're faded.
Yeah, and early 80s, and then the ones on my legs as well, some of those are early 80s, etc.
Yes.
But there you go, bad mistake, I think. I wish, my hand goes onto my heart now. Wish I'd never had a tattoo.
Oh, you can do like that dude did, other video, and the American dude with the sticker on his chest, got it all covered up.
Yeah, but then you got more tattoos on top. I wish I'd never had a tattoo. That's the whole point. Yeah.
You can get them lasered off, but lasering takes time, doesn't it?
It hurts as well. It hurts.
I've seen a procedure on video clips and whatever.
It's like being flicked with a rubber band, a really taut rubber band, a million times over.
A rubber band on fire.
But that's nothing to do with skinhead tattoos.
I know, I'm just on about removing.
So the bulldog, the British bulldog, that's because why wouldn't you?
I know why.
Why wouldn't you as well? Also football emblems, football type things.
Oh yes.
And then we come to what I would say are the most controversial ones.
Oh, right.
So the dots across knuckles, the ACAB,
ACAB.
or coppers are bastards, allegedly. Also known as 1212.
Okay.
Which is
ACAB.
1213, sorry, or 1312, do beg your pardon.
Oh yes.
So 1 for A,
Yes.
3 for
C.
coppers. Yeah.
Another one A.
Yeah.
And 2B.
There you go. 1 3 1 2.
2.
Yeah. And then just have the love and the hate or whatever, or skins across there.
That's it.
Or or other things as well.
There's just so many, aren't there?
There are
lots of people have.
There are indeed. So facial tattoos, yes or no?
Not for me.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me at all. It just looks like it hurts. It looks like it really, really hurts.
Gosh, you have to sit there.
Head tattoos.
Gosh.
That's bone carving. That looks like it really hurts. But if it's done properly, that looks amazing. I've got to say that looks really, really amazing if it's done properly. And you know, if it's done like with sharp, good ink, such as the Americans now, they have what was it, Mom's Millennium ink.
Okay.
Which is that's really, really good stuff. Quite thick. You have to. You normally have to put a bit of witch hazel in that.
Just soothing for.
No, just to thin it out a bit.
Oh, I see.
Just to thin it out a bit because it's really, really thick.
Oh, I thought it was for the soothing.
No, exactly. And then you've got Japanese inks as well, which is your Kuro Sumis and your what was the other one I used to use? Koki Sumi or something like that. I used to use that. Back in the day when I used to tattoo. But there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very good ink.
Right on.
So let's take a quick break.
Yes.
Let's watch this VT, and then we'll see you shortly, guys.
Samoan tatau date back centuries, and the words give the origin of the word tattoo. Before stainless steel tools were introduced, tattoos were carved with pig bones, or in some cases, human bones. Patterns represent the journeys Samoan ancestors took from Southeast Asia to Polynesia, because with each sharp hit, a metal comb dipped in ink is being driven into Whakalilo's skin. He's going through the long and arduous process of getting a traditional tattoo. He flew in all the way from New Zealand. That's Liaifava Imoleni. He's one of ours over 7 days for him to complete Whakalilo's tattoo. He's not going through the pain alone though. Sister Charlene is getting a tattoo of her own from Melbourne, Australia. They were supporting
breaking up the legs, snapping faces, ringing necks, down like them in the bed, kick your bones until they crack. Oh, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Jump up down and put your head, kick your head until you're dead, throw your body for the leg, see the road turn the red. Oh, wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Sorry. Hey, welcome back everybody. I sure hope you enjoyed that.
Sure hope you did as well.
Yes.
So, Mrs. Moonstomper.
Yes, Mr. Moonstomper.
What were we saying before we went for this, before we had this Vita? Excuse me.
Frog again.
It is indeed, sorry. Should give up smoking. Really. So, we were talking about tattoos, obviously.
Oh, yes.
So, you mentioned something during the break, didn't you, about the sort of practice of tattooing? And it's something I didn't actually know. So what was that?
In places like Greece, Rome, Siberia, Peru, and even the British Isles. But most of the females practice tattooing.
So it was a female practice rather than a male practice?
Yes.
Right, there you go. Okay.
The tattooed pregnant women to protect them whilst they were pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There you go.
You protect them during pregnancy and childbirth. Yes.
Who knew?
Yes.
There you go.
No, you know.
And then wasn't it? Didn't you mention that tattoos were actually brought to Great Britain by the Romans?
The Romans, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
In 55 BC when we were invaded.
Something like that.
There you go, and everybody calls the British a bunch of invaders, you know.
Dear.
Look at the Romans, guys. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
And then, what was it, what else did you mention?
Also, tattoos were used to mark. Oh, start again. Sorry. Tattoos were used to identify slaves and criminals as well.
That's correct, indeed, and they still do that to this day.
Okay.
So they did it. The most notable modern day tattoos of that ilk are surely German prisoners of war or those in concentration camps, where literally they would have their identification number tattooed on their arm or wherever. Literally, and it was just really crude.
Alright.
Really crude. Lots of Jewish people, tattoos, like Polish people, tattoos on their arm, and it was like sort of 7 or 8 digits or 9 digits or whatever.
Jeez.
And that sort of identified that person. That person just became a number.
Yes.
You know,
it's like that series, was it Prisoner? I am not a number, I'm a free man.
Yeah, kind of. You are number 6. Yeah, I don't even know what that was about, that series. Nobody even knows what it was about. I watched it.
I thought you used to watch it, did you?
I did used to watch it. There wasn't that many episodes, but I still don't know what it was about to this day.
No.
But that has nothing to do with tattooing whatsoever. So
it
hasn't. No, it's never tattooed. Just like giving a number.
Okay, just reminded me of it.
And there was a big bouncing ball that went through the village. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I've never watched it. I don't even remember the catchphrase he used to say.
I watched it and I just, okay, fair enough. I still don't know what it is to this day. But there you go. So in the Mrs. Moonstomp, in the Royal Navy, they actually listed your tattoos before you joined.
Alright.
So they could identify you by a tattoo.
Okay.
Probably in case you got blown up into a million pieces. They'd go, that swallow belongs to Mr. Moonstomper, obviously. And then piece it back together like that.
Jeez.
But they do that when the police arrest people as well. They'll identify people by tattoos, so they'll unusual marks and scars.
Right.
And it's a way of keeping tabs on people. So when you have a tattoo, you've kind of labelled yourself.
That's it. That's your mark.
Which is what I did. But I've got that many. It's just like which one was which. They're all that blurred now. It's just like I don't know which one's which anymore.
Oh man.
But there you go.
Let's hope it never happens to you.
Well, no, if it does, it does. Who cares? Right. So going back to I would say that English skinhead tattoos, right? They really picked up when tattooing was very crude in the 50s, 60s and 70s.
Yes.
Very crude. Literally, you would the tattoo would be off what was called flash.
Okay.
So, which is basically it's a picture on the wall. That's pre-drawn. They trace around it, wet your arm, bang it on like that, and then tattoo
Like
over.
transfer.
Yeah. Then tattoo the tattoo over it, like literally.
And
that was the tattoo. If you had a pair of swallows, what they'd do is wet ink on one, and you go bang like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or a pair of eagles or something, bang like that, and then
Gosh, one on the left, one on the right.
Yeah, exactly. So they haven't got to draw it on. Some of them were drawn on biro before they were even tattooed on. They just go give us your arm and draw it on the biro, and then that was the outline and the way they went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was literally that crude.
Okay.
I would say in the 80s, especially in the mid 80s to late 80s, and then the 90s, tattooing really came on in leaps and bounds.
Yes.
The machines got smoother. The ink got more vibrant, so we started importing Japanese inks to sort of like Western countries such as the United States, Canada, Great Britain and Europe. So we got hold of those inks, and those inks just changed it completely, and the size of needles as well. So literally, where they use a single needle for an outline now, they didn't have that in the 70s. It was like 3 or 4 needles, so for an outline, and then you'd have up to like sort of 15 needles for what was called a whip shader.
I like colouring in, you mean?
Yes, so it's like when people go, it's a needle, it's not, it's like a roller needle. It's a roller needle. So, right, just a quick sort of disclaimer here. I tattooed for a bit
Yes.
And then you can't make any money off it. That's why I gave it up. It was just a bad idea. And a needle is not a needle is not a needle.
No.
Ink is not ink is not ink, and a machine's not a machine. And you know, a power supply, and there was, you know, and cords and everything else that goes with it.
Okay.
It's if you do it properly and you get the right equipment, it can be really, really expensive. Or you could just go to wherever and buy a kit. Some people do, become a scratcher and do it for like 40 odd quid and get really bad results. Like really, really bad results where you're actually hurting someone. When the ink and the equipment got better, the needles became better as well.
Yeah.
And you can see some people literally they've just got bodysuits to die for.
No.
But the Skinhead ink is always a bit different.
Okay.
And some of those guys will say some of it's got meaning. So some people, you know, I've actually heard people who say if you've got a spider's web
Yeah.
on a kneecap or a joint
Elbow.
or elbow,
Yeah.
that means you've actually killed someone.
Okay.
Yeah, that I've heard that.
Is it always true?
No,
Is it
it's
a
not.
myth?
No, it's not true at all. You
So
know,
you think it's-
that might be in one organisation,
Okay.
but in day-to-day life, no,
No.
not at all. And that's what I'm saying. It's subjective. It's really, it's different for different people.
That's it.
But then when you look at your typical Aryan tattoos, such as done in a American jail, we'll put some pictures on screen of those because literally they are covered head to toe,
Yes.
absolutely covered. In
I've
fact,
seen pictures.
in that Skinhead, the wrong breed,
breed.
you saw that lad with the big swastika on there,
Yes.
but literally he got like a white power thing on his back,
Okay.
and he got other things as well,
Yes.
and it's literally that was a lifetime's work of jail tattoos. But another place that had tattoos in jail, South Africa.
Okay.
And South America as well, place in
Right.
South America.
Yes.
It's really, really big. Brazil, Venezuela, so Central America as well,
Oh,
sorry.
yes.
And then, you know, like your Perus and places like that. Really, really, really popular.
Gosh.
And
You
then
wouldn't think it, would you?
you
Places
wouldn't.
like that.
And then Nepal as well.
Yeah.
Nepalese tattoos. I had a friend who he served with he wasn't a Gurkha, but he served with the Gurkhas on attachments,
Okay.
and he ended up with a pair of kukri, which are like their little they're like knives, the Gurkha fighting
Alright.
knives. He ended up with a pair of kukri on his hand
Okay.
as a sort of symbol of friendship or something.
Okay.
Which I thought was a bit of a weird way to make friends. Just get a tattoo on your hand, and your hand could look like a boxing glove.
Oh God.
So, and tattoos are now socially acceptable.
They are.
They're really socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like I say, when I had tattoos, literally, you were either ex-forces, in prison, or some sort of a yobbo.
Oh gosh.
And it was literally I had to sort of cover my arms and hands, especially having some really respectable jobs, or people looked at you in a...
That's, you know.
You've got tattoos, but now
People don't bat an eye.
I would say more people have tattoos than actually don't have tattoos.
Okay.
Everyone's just got a tattoo, but the difference is everyone pins a meaning onto their tattoo. So if they get a tattoo and they go, that symbolises,
Whatever.
yeah. And you can see how culture's changed.
Yes.
But the original skins, the original British skins,
That's it.
right, I can't speak for the US skins.
All right.
And the
completely
Australian
different
skins.
from
Yeah,
other
guys, people like Pete Carson, in the comments below, you're an OG US skinhead. In the comments below, because we'd love to hear from you.
You got Pete?
Yeah, absolutely. You always
Go on.
put something that's really, really great in the comments, and a massive shout out to you, my brother Moon Stomper. You are the absolute OG. So in the comments below, and what did the original US skins have as tattoos?
All right.
Was it the same as the British skins? I don't think it was. Probably the American tattoos were
completely different?
I think they were better.
Okay.
They were way better, with people like Sailor Jerry and Ed Hardy sort of leading the way as the sort of two main sort of people in the USA. Over here we had people such as, my dad was great friends with this bloke, and he was a bloke from Northern Ireland called Sailor Bill Peartree. He was an absolute, he tattooed sailors all over the world.
Okay.
He was a travelling tattoo artist, and he'd go all over the world and he'd tattoo people all over the world.
Awesome.
An absolute legend. But there you go.
I see. Going back to when you said you was doing your tattooing, I was your blank canvas.
Correct.
I've still got on my back and the back of my neck as well.
You were indeed. Yeah. So there you go.
Boy, did it hurt. But it didn't cause me any trouble afterwards. It didn't raise like my other tattoos.
No, because it's.
You did it properly.
And again, I put that in with the rotary, not a coil. And literally, I can't even begin to tell you how much I was absolutely panicking doing that. Literally, I was concentrating, panicking. I was absolutely breaking it, because tattooing black skin is different to tattooing white skin.
It is.
White skin, you can bung it in literally, and you know, if you've got fair hair, lots such as blonde people and ginger
Red
people,
hair,
the tattoo really takes the skin. The darker your hair, the less it takes, and the heavier. Sometimes the heavier you've got to go, or the darker inch you've got to use. But it's difficult, it really is. But I no longer do that. I gave that up years ago, did it for a couple of years, and found out it wasn't really for me. But,
Well, I'm pleased with what I've got anyway, so pleased, it looks so good.
You haven't seen it properly, have you, really? It's on your back, so
I can see
it looks alright.
If I get a mirror and look in another mirror, I can see how good it looks.
There you go, so tribal as well.
Yeah, it's TDPR tribal.
Yeah.
But our kid as well, his tattoos, because he's got fair skin, like being half caste.
Yeah.
His tattoos are really nice, really like, well, just black and white anyway. He hasn't got colours. And he's tattooed, and he's tattooed. Magnificent.
So I think you should spend some Skinhead tattoos. I think he should have at least had a bulldog or a dagger. Or a rose. A bulldog and a rose for me.
He's got a big rose on his hand, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've got a rose as well. Yeah, so there you go.
Come on.
And then I've got a German eagle as well. As you do.
It speaks German, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's a German eagle on my forearm, actually. As in a Nazi eagle. There you go. But on top of a pentagram instead of a swastika.
Alright.
There you go. As you do.
As you do. Also, Mr. Moonstomper, there's tattoos, like good luck tattoos that people have on them. Such as clovers, 4-leaf clover. Number 13 as well, lucky horseshoe, black cat, maybe.
I've got a black cat.
Oh, you
I've
have?
got a black panther actually.
Oh, panther, I've seen it. I forget where it is.
Black panther, it's like kind of buried, I think. I can't even remember where it is now.
Is it
No.
left arm or right arm?
I can't even remember, but I remember having a black panther's head for some reason.
Okay.
It's just one of those I picked off Flash.
Yeah.
But the horseshoe, so which way would you wear the horseshoe?
So the letter U, isn't it?
Yeah, but which way up? Because if you put your arm down like that, the horseshoe's upside down,
So you have to hold your arm down so they can draw the U like that.
Yeah, an upside down horseshoe is unlucky.
That's it.
Because it drops out all the lock. A horseshoe, the other way, holds the lock.
That's it, so it's got to be sort of-
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ditto what with girl on the arm there.
Pin-up girl.
Yeah, if it's like that way, she's the right way up.
That's it.
But if it's that way, it's the wrong way up.
So you have to have two, one that way and one that way.
Don't be so pure. Right? There you go. And right, so the eagles, right, somebody asked me actually what I've got on my hands, tattooed on my hands. Right, so those are eagles, those are ancient, those are.
Yes.
Right, and the eagle, to me, those are like traditional sailor tattoos.
Alright, yes.
And those to me, and the swallow there, those mean freedom. That's all I mean is freedom and nothing more.
Free as a bird.
And I didn't have those for any other reason. Then I just had them. And yeah, as you do.
So you like to be free.
Yeah, absolutely. And those would have been typical sort of navy tattoos.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's the and then like your dagger and your rose and your stuff like that as well.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I just had them because, I
Just because.
Yeah, exactly. I think that one actually covered something up.
Alright.
But I can't remember what had underneath that. And I can't remember what was on that either.
Alright.
Probably something like really unsavoury, knowing but not a swastika though.
No.
Yeah.
Talking I know this is off the subject, but tattoos, some people take it as far as to tattoo their eyeballs. Have you seen that? It's wonder how you sit there and have your eyeballs tattooed.
Funnily enough, your eyeballs, I don't think your eyeballs have got nerves in.
Alright.
As far as I'm aware, the same as,
Oh,
I think, well, I don't know,
Make me wince.
the same as people have the tops of the feet tattooed.
Oh yes.
And, when you've got the palm of your hand tattooed or the side of
there's
your
that
foot,
as well.
I just couldn't think of anything worse.
Or inside your bottom lip.
Wow, okay,
You just sit there and have all the body parts tattooed. Oh gosh.
That's going to hurt.
Oh yes.
That's going to hurt. So it's either those soft parts or bone carving, like the backs of your hands, tops of your feet,
That's
your
it.
kneecap. I remember my kneecap and my shins.
Gosh.
My shins really, really hurt. They really hurt, and the backs of my hands really hurt as well.
Proper bony, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just like
Yes.
pure bone carving.
Gosh.
So those who can have the skulls done, I'm like, wow, that looks painful.
Yes.
But if it's done properly, it looks nice. It really does.
And off the subject again, skin dives as well. People have skin dives. Skin dive, split tongue. Is it like a snake or a split lip as well? Is it like a panther, some sort of big cat?
I struggle with one tongue, never mind two. So why would I want two? I think it's just bothering myself.
I've seen people with a tongue can go separate this way and that way. I'm thinking, why would you do that to your tongue?
Well, the amount of studios I've sat in, literally, we used to call them tattoo parlours.
Parlours,
Yeah,
yes.
the amount of parlours I've sat in, I've seen people have tattoos in weird places. I've just looked at my
Does she
yeah,
down there?
that looks like it's going to hurt, and you can see them going white and then he passing out, and it's just, yeah. So there you go.
You sit there and let somebody do that to you. Anyway, enough of that.
I knew a joke about that, but I'm not going to say that on camera because
right.
that's really, really bad actually.
Okay.
Right, so Mrs. Moonstomper.
Oh, yes.
Right, okay. This has been a strange episode actually because
Strange but good. I found it intriguing and a bit of an eye-opener.
I find it really intriguing actually. And yeah, long may tattoos continue. Yeah.
Long may you, yes.
Have you got anything else?
Maybe, Mr. Moonstomper, I got some good news for you.
As you, oh god.
If we're gonna start laughing for real, I'm gonna go all Trump on you. The good news is there's no fake news here.
God, I'm right.
No fake news here.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Mrs. Moonstomper? Your hair actually looks like Donald Trump's hair.
Hey, don't diss the hair, man. Don't diss the hair.
The elections are coming up soon, in the US, aren't they? Is it November, guys?
Maybe November. I forget.
So, who's going to be in power? That will wait and see. So, Mrs. Moonstomper.
Yes, Mr.
What
Moonstomper.
have we got coming up next week for our lovely viewers? I can't remember.
It's on the board.
It's on the board, and we haven't got the board in front of us, so it could be.
Could be Prodigy or
it could be the special.
Prodigy.
It could be absolutely anything.
Yes,
Actually,
yes.
in fact, let's surprise you, and whatever it is, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So
Keep them peeled.
definitely,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
So anything else?
so. No.
No. Guys, you beautiful people, as always, we love you immensely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching,
Lovely.
and a lovely, I've been Mr. Moonstomper. Peace out, love and respect.
Mrs. Moonstomper says, love you. See you next time.
Look to the future, our Lord. The storm is coming now. Race war. people that will kill us for the flags we fly. We won't surrender, we won't give in. We'll fight the fight, and we will win now. Stand up beside us, we'll have our day. Stand up against us, get out of our way. The tension's rising, blood grows, the banks are bursting, overflow. Here it comes now, tidal wave. Gotta help our people now, mass graves. Join the battle, join the few. Stand up for your race and your nation too. We know the traitors are in our midst. They're not running like the others did. Stand up beside us, have our day. Stand up against us, get out of our way. To the left, people to the right, people in the middle that don't wanna fight. Traitors fight against us, showdown. People in the middle get locked down. We fight for freedom, we fight to win. The color of our uniforms, the color of our skin.